I'm responding, Bambi. Don't fucking come for me, because I know the gun that you done did. Don't make me make a phone call to the Social Security office on your mom. I will call, and the police will be at your door before it get dark. Don't forget, motherfucking had them kids for free. Told goddamn Medicare that you didn't have a job. Don't come for Momma Dee. I'm gonna tell you. You gotta shut up, get back, get back, get back. Because you got a paper trail, boo. And you've been working for VH1, Love and Hip Hop, for a minute. Why did you not have no money to pay for labor and delivery? Don't come for me. And you lied. You still lied on federal paperwork, okay? You don't run a store. People send and buy stuff from you and they don't get it. They don't get their money back and you don't answer the phone. You all know Momma Dee don't even act like that. Tried to take it easy on that. But so now I'm responding, Bambi. Don't fucking come for me because I know the gun.
So how did we get here? Okay, how did we get to the point where Momma Dee is alleging that the BAM committed the fraud to get the Medicaid despite having the VH1 checks? Okay, this is first courtesy of our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk and Live Bites. Baby, Momma Dee is going off, but why? Why is that? Well, let's take things back because Momma Dee has some things to say. First of all, about, saying that Bambi slept with Benzino. You guys recall back in the day when Bambi was introduced to the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta world, it was via this scene right here with Benzino, back when Benzino was on the show, right? And we had known Bambi, if you had watched Basketball Wives, because she was a friend to Malaysia. And when I say she was a friend to that girl, she was a friend to her, okay? So the BAM says, this is, she's responding to Momma Dee right here after Momma Dee's first, I don't know what Mama be doing. Walking, talking, live chats, whatever she be doing, right? So Momma Dee had them posted what she posted. So Bam responded and said, "This was such a fun time in my life. Benzino was always cool with me. I think y'all just don't like how he looked. I know it's hard to fathom being able to date without having the relations with people, but it's a real thing. So I guess she wants us to believe that they ain't, do nothing, okay? She says, in over 10 years, nobody has seen me with anyone other than the person I was married to. So I'd never let a bee with loose teeth or the internet make me feel bad for living my life. This weird lady is obsessed with me. Where was this energy from my mom when she was beating the brakes off you? Talk about that. Pure example of a bee getting her butt beat and still won't shut up. Pills, liquor, and the internet is a volatile cocktail. I'm gonna let the blogs grab this since you need some attention. Next time that tooth fall out, roll it up and smoke it. Holiday heart, deleting soon. No, don't delete it, Bams. Don't delete it. Scrapped and pulled up, said, I live by my own codes because people like to switch the rules when it's convenient. All I know is as long as I'm solid, everything is gonna be good. He said, God code, move in silence and get the work done. Respect people even when they disrespectful. That's how I do. No need to clap back nor send a warning. I let God do it because he do it so nice. You should see the enemy when they fold. I just pray for them and to actually think people want you to be hurt and bothered. But I've been there, done that, and that part of me died with my last situation. Be blessed. Now, of course, all this comes on the heels, all right? On the heels and the toes of the latest episode of Love and Hip Hop. All right, so we're going to recap that right now. The episode is titled Broke Down Palace because the palace is broke down, baby. The palace is broke down. All right. Now, all of these shenanigans and carryings on the internet, you know what I'm saying? They always happen to resurface around the time that the episodes are airing, right? So in this particular episode, we get a lot of action happening. And I'm going to go ahead and start things off with the Scrap and the Bam and the Momma Dee of it all. All right. In this episode right here, we got both Scrap and Bambi preparing for mediation, right, for this divorce. Now, in between all that, Scrap has to move. Now he's gonna move some of his stuff in with his mama, okay, but he's gonna move into a hotel. In my opinion, or is it just me, or what I feel like? Now I don't know what these people's financial situations is, but my thought is, let's say Scrap is going on tour all these times, as we had, heard or whatever, and like that. And I'm thinking to myself, what you gotta be making at least what 10,000, 20,000 a show or something like that. 10,000 at the least, right? So, you got the taxes and stuff like that. And so my thought is, if you're doing all of these shows and whatnot, clearly, I mean, you got to be making some kind of coin. But per the mediation, he told the Bam, allegedly, according to Bam, that he ain't got no money. All right. Now, I don't know whether that money is, I don't know where the money that he's making is going. I don't know if it's going into the LLC, the S Corp, a nonprofit, to the mama or whatever like that. But there's some scuttlebutt about whether or not he's going to be paying for what and for who. All right. But from what I gathered from that is that whatever he's going to be trying to provide ain't really enough for what the band would need for their kids or whatever. Then there was some talk about apparently, him taking the kids for a week. And I don't know if that was a proposal for a week on, a week off. I don't really know. What I do know is this. It would seem to me, and I'm just thinking myself, I don't understand why this man would be moving into a hotel, right? I mean, unless there's some type of luxury hotel where you can like the W, in some places, like in LA, there's a W hotel, but then the W hotel, there's condos or something like that on the other side of it. So unless you're moving into some type of long-term residence in the hotel, that don't really make sense to me, because sure enough, I mean, as all these people that's got houses, surely you can move into one of them. I thought that Kirk and Rashida, or either T.I. and Tani or somebody, had the whole community of houses, or at least from what we heard from Yandy and Mendices, they got some constructions and things going on. You mean to tell me you can't move into one of them houses or something like that? Because I would imagine that you would want to be able to provide a space for the kids. And I'm only talking about, listen, don't talk about the kids, because Scrap go off when you talk about them kids, as we gonna talk about. But in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, why can't you move into some type of like temporary housing situation that feels more like a home, so that when you do have the kids, if you have them like that, they don't really miss a beat with their home experience, right? So this hotel to me sounds a little odd. Like, why is it that you at this space, and with the income that you got to be bringing in, could you not just go ahead and rent yourself a nice little home or purchase something? And I feel like with Scrap being at the place that he is now, like, why you should be owning something. I mean, for real. Like, that's just my thought. And maybe owning ain't for everybody, right? I can totally understand that, and I can attest to that. But I do feel like you've been in this game long enough. You've been on this TV game long enough. You didn't seen the things that some of these people on this show have been able to do. Yandy and Mendices have been able to turn these shows into profits, non-profits, and all kinds of other shenanigans. Kirk and Rashid have been able to do it. Carly Red been able to do it. I don't understand why it is that, and maybe you have, and I just don't know it, but it don't seem like it if you up in court saying you ain't got no coin, okay? That's one thing. So the other thing is, so Sierra and Erica Mena are both going through it with their men's or whatever. And, Erica's been through this period of divorce. Sierra trying to run from her man some kind of way. And so we get, them commiserating with the Bam. And there's a big party going on. Side note, I didn't even rate this episode because I had just dove straight into the news. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to have to give this episode a 9. I mean, a 9 or 9.5. I was so into it that, first of all, I don't take no notes on the show. I just watch because I want to enjoy it. And I'm actually thoroughly enjoying it. And to me, again, like I said, the thing about Love and Hip Hop that I feel like is different from some of the housewife shows is there's things going on. There's music business that's actually happening in these episodes. So as I'm talking about Scrap, I'm talking about, what I would imagine that he would be making as an artist who is still performing, right? And we get a lot of talk about music in this episode. There's a big party for a PR person that works with a lot of the, I guess, a lot of the folks down in Atlanta. And what I like about it that separates this from a housewife show is that these are events with like lots of people and there's other, I mean, these are real live celebrations. People are performing. Again, it just feels like there's things to do. You know what I'm saying? Other than let's just get, this is a housewives formula, which don't get me wrong, I still love my housewives, but it's solo scene, so half group scene, maybe a whole group scene, but usually the end group scene is where everybody, let's bring all our issues to the table, and everybody got to put on the ponderosa for the gossip that happened in that episode. Wash, rinse, and repeat. With this, I do feel like there's different things happening. You know what I'm saying? And they're all over the map. Back to Scrappy and Bambi and Erica and Sierra and Momma Dee, because Sierra and Erica are now wrapped up into this whole thing. So after promising Bambi that they would have her back, even though Erica was friends with Scrappy first, what happens when they get to the event, okay, in my Letitia voice, the event, then of course, Erica walks up to Scrappy, who's already in some type of mood, right? Because he's just been informed by Chaotic that, oh, the word on the street is that you got Diamond pregnant. So he's kind of like up in arms already. Come to find out, it was Momma Dee, okay, that had spilt that tea to the people, okay? Now, Scrap really doesn't go in on Momma Dee like that. Maybe because that's his mama. But if your mama is the reason that this is being spread around, and Erica did finally tell, Bambi, who is kind of like, at this point, she's just over it. And she kind of is like, almost would be happy if something was, if it was a child on the way, so the man could leave her alone. But for whatever reason, her friends won't leave Scrap alone. Okay. Now I am on this thing right here. Now, like, here's the thing, babe. Okay. And by babe, I mean, I'm talking to Sierra and Erica. This ain't y'all's fight to have to fight. And Sierra and Erica, I do feel like y'all got the best of intentions for the BAM, but I also feel like y'all are projecting some of what y'all are going through onto Scrappy, because while I do think that Scrap has a lot of fault in the situation. I'm not in the business of getting in my friends' relationships. Okay. I feel like I might have done that when I was younger, but nowadays, when the grown folks have their issues, I'm staying far away from it. Okay. Because the next thing you know, they'll be back together and you'll be on the outs. Okay. Now, in this situation, I do feel like Erica and Sierra are doing a little much, because at the end of the day, it's over. They're in the divorce process. There's no turning back. And I understand y'all want this man to fight for something, but if he ain't not willing to fight for it no more, then that's just what he is, and you got to respect it and just let it be. But I do feel like, they going hard for the BAM. And so Erica gets herself in a situation where now Scrap, who is already hyped up, right? He comes into the event hyped up, I felt like. So now I feel like anything that's said to him is really going to push his buttons. But the other thing is, I feel like, when she get to asking about, like, well, why you not giving, why you not trying to give child support? Number one, it ain't her business. Two, I wouldn't have said that at the party if that was your former bro. You know what I'm saying? And then three, again, it's just embarrassing for somebody that's already on edge. Granted, I think he got the coin. I think he got something. I think he got something to contribute, but that's between him and the BAM and their babies. So when the kids get mentioned, and it ain't even the kids as a mention, it's really the child support for the kids. But Scrap get hyped up. Now, see, this is where I got an issue with Scrap. Now, I get it. you know, these people should not be getting themselves involved in what's going on with you and your child support and what you're not going to pay and what you're going to pay. Even though I always feel like if you got an opportunity to pay, you know, for your kids and the betterment of your kids, if you can't pay for it, then stop doing the things that put you in a position to be a father. If you're not trying to do father-like things, then don't be putting yourself in the father position. And by father position, what I mean by that is the intimate position, okay? Any intimate position where you're not wrapping it all up, okay? So that's number one. And number two, I feel like, again, they're your kids. You should always want to provide the most for them, okay? That is just beyond me how fathers don't want to be fathering. That's beyond me, okay? That's beyond me. I don't get it. I probably never will. But that's on him, right? Now, I don't agree that she should have brought that up at the party, at the event, but I also don't agree with how he was talking to her, okay? I mean, he jumping up in her face, the way, and what she's saying to him, granted, I felt like it was out of pocket. I didn't really, because he already was like, well, let me show you my bank statements and this, that, and the third. But I guess to hop up on that table with her and to kind of start going at it with her like that, it just wasn't a good look for me. I ain't like it. I don't like I feel like as a man, you have a right to defend yourself if somebody's making an accusation against you. But I don't feel like you need to start, you know, doing all of this and yeah. Defend yourself and keep yourself at a distance, because it's just never going to work out for you optically on the screen, as well as probably for whoever is watching, right? And you know, Erica also gets into Momma Dee for doing the gossiping, right? You know, so it's a combination. But as Erica's being pulled down off of the whatever she's being pulled off of, because Scrappy got all up in her face, then he gets to getting into it with Sierra, and Sierra, like, I feel like Sierra is arguing like on the side of, hey, you know, your wife is amazing. You know, you should be trying to do your best to rectify things with her. Even though I feel like it's not really her place and they her friends, and I get it, I don't like the way he responded to her. And I felt like, granted, he was already hyped up, but to me, nothing that they said really warranted him to like bark and like kind of it was an aggression that I felt like was too physical for me to feel any level of comfort as a man, even watching the scene. So definitely not a man that's gonna be in the scene like chaotic, because I don't feel like he come across to me like he would rather be more of the court jester than somebody who is advocating for like, hey bro, like let me look out for you like this. Because in the preview for the next episode, he gonna tell Sierra like, I'm not your knight in shining armor. And I hope, Erica, you taking a good look at what this man is doing while you trying to get your flirt on. So let's talk about that, because I definitely like how Scrappy was getting with both either. And side note, did y'all catch Momma Dee talking about Bambi was doing the witchcraft and whatnot? She was putting the I can't even go there. Like, I was just like, ma'am, what kind of witchcraft? Listen, you raised him, okay? These are the women that he has been dating. You done had an issue with just about every woman that he has dated. Period. Point blank in the period. So you gonna have to take some type of responsibility too, because you raised him. Now, I ain't saying you raised him wrong. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, judging by how he talking to these women, there needs to be some conversations had about a level of respect that you have for the way that you come at women. And I know a lot of y'all in the comment section gonna be like, well, you know, should no woman get in? No, absolutely right. You should nobody get in nobody's face. Period. Okay. But it didn't feel to me like they was coming at Scrap in any kind of threatening way. Now, let me get on the friend Chaotic. Okay. He comes across to me as a bit of a hot mess. period. Like, again, I feel like he's more interested in coming across as like the funny court jester on this show. And I just kind of feel like, he's a friend to Scrap, but is he really a friend, right? Because to me, a friend is gonna be like, if I'm Scrap's friend, I'll be like, bro, let me get you out of this situation with these women because it's getting a little bit too much. I feel like you getting a little too bout it for my comfort level. And so I'm gonna get you out of this situation because I don't feel like this is a good look for you. To me, that's a friend. But anyway, um, Erica Banks and Amy Luciani are finding themselves at odds over Chaotic, of all people. Now, unless he got a whole lot of cash, a whole lot of clout, something, I don't understand it. Now, Amy Luciani is best friends with Chaotic. That's how we've been introduced. But we do learn that they had kissed down at the South by Southwest. Apparently, she's a little annoyed at Erica for a song that they were supposed to collaborate on because Erica with the bayangs, and by bayangs, I mean baby hairs down to her knees. She is just busy. I like Erica Banks because I feel like Erica Banks understands how to be a reality TV personality as well as a rapstress. You could tell it by how poised she is in her confessionals, her points that she makes, how she shows up on camera. She is ready. I feel like she's having fun. However, what I did not like though is yes, you may be too busy for Amy in the song right now. And I get that because she does seem like she's out there doing the things. What I do feel like is, girl, you kind of misleading Amy just a little bit because you downplaying whatever you feel for Chaotic be in front of Amy's face. But when she asked you about it point blank, you was kind of like, I ain't even interested like that. Now, true enough, I do feel like Amy's actual issue was less about the song and more about, okay, well, what's up with you and Chaotic? Because I know he be flirting with you too. But at the end of the day, I feel like Amy, like you're gonna have to take care of that on your own. But Erica, I'm looking at you kind of funny right now because you should have been like, listen, I kind of got a little feeling for him too. Now, granted, is it Amy's business? No, but as y'all are trying to build a friendship and this woman is coming to you, I felt like woman to woman, then I felt like it would have been kosher for you to just simply say, hey babe, listen, I know you feeling Chaotic. I'm kind of feeling him too. So I don't know what we about to do right now. I don't even know if it's good, proper for us to do this song together. But that's how I'm feeling. Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think. Do you feel like she had any obligation to tell Amy how she was feeling about Chaotic? I just feel like looking at the long road, right? I feel like as you get older in life, you start looking at, okay, if I do this, this is going to happen. So I feel like not saying anything is going to cause more of an issue later than saying something would right now. That's just me because at the end of the day, what Amy's going to say is, well, girl, I came to you and I told you how I felt. Why didn't you give me the same courtesy, right? So anyway, we also get to see a little bit of Yandy. She's having a Yale festival for small businesses, aka the Black Expo. And so, I felt like this whole scene was a little like set up, like just to say, hey, here's a Black family, we popping, we doing good. And that's great because I have been wondering where Yandy was. And I do like seeing the things that they do in the community and the impact that they're having. Because I always say this to you guys, when I'm watching these shows, I'm not only looking at, oh, look at what they doing. Dang, how can I do that too? So I like seeing that. I'm just telling you that the scene to me just felt like, oh, we need to set up a scene for Yandy to show what the work that she's doing, and that's what it was. So I think what they really want us to know is that Mendices has an interview coming up, and he doesn't really do a lot of interviews nor public speaking. So that's going to be interesting for him to do that interview with Shannon Sharp, and it's going to impact him negatively next week. So we do hear a setup for this, which in terms of the storytelling for this show, I do feel like, okay, I like how y'all are telling or rolling out some of these stories because I feel like it's effective. I think the other thing that happened in this episode was, we saw Deb Atney again, who I kind of miss on our screens because I feel like Deb is hip hop. Like Deb is like in the thick of hip hop, and I'm just like, I could use a little bit more there, right? Young Jock is on this episode. I was like, what's going on with him and Kendra? I want to see more of them on this show, and I don't feel like having to watch all of these other, married couples retreats and down in the Love Island stuff. I don't want to have to watch that. I just want to watch it on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and keep it pushing. Side note, I would really like for Love and Hip Hop Hollywood to come back. If anybody knows anything, holla at your boy. I don't think it is, but it would be nice because I thought that show was good. Anyway, back to what I was saying. We saw Miss Deb, we saw Young Jock, who is now, I guess, maybe like a mentor or a partner for Erica Banks. Side note, Erica Banks was with 1501? I think that was the group that Megan first started with. Carl Crawford and them. They used to be with Evelyn. So it's crazy how all of this is intertwined, and nobody has really done anything with that. Anyway, it sounds like now she is partnered with Young Jock, and they're going to perform the song together. She gets some mentorship and advice from him about things, and he just seemed like he kind of there to like collect a check. So anyway, the other, I think, storyline that we had was Spice finally getting back on stage and performing. Again, it was nice. This was a nice to see moment. Everybody in her camp was on stage with her. I felt like things were getting back to normal for her. So it sounds like we've been able to wrap up the Spice performing for the first time again storyline in a very nice way. It all came together really, really nicely. I got to tell y'all, I'm loving this show this season. I find it very interesting, amusing. Last week's episode was kind of a miss for me, but I felt like this episode definitely got things back on track, and the drama was definitely full steam ahead. So y'all let me know what y'all thought about it down in the comment section down below, and I will, of course, catch you in the next video.
So, Desiree Davenport, what are you hoping to accomplish with this show?
Honestly, I've lost everything in the most horrible way possible. And listen, I want it all back. I'm willing to build it piece by piece, and I mean brick by brick.
Oh, honey, she is done. I bet you a Birkin she doesn't last all season with us. Just watch.
I'm Misha Hill, and I'd like to consider myself the matriarch of this dynamic group of ladies. I mean, someone has to keep them under control.
I'm Davita Delaney.
I mean, I think I could teach these ladies a thing or two about how to get and keep a good man.
They said she was a gold digger. She ain't that for me. I'm just really looking forward to being surrounded by other empowering bosses.
Yes, I know exactly what she's doing. And if she keep playing in my face, I'm gonna have to let her off her dirty little secrets just like she did to me. And I'm not playing.
Let's get this straight. If I brought you into this circle, I just as easily can take you out. She ain't running nothing over here, okay? She needs to be worried about running that household and worried about why that husband of hers is never at home.
Oh, hell.
Ooh, child, this is about to be a mess.
Oh my God, I hate mess. What in the world did I get myself into?